time to talk housewives. Now, I have two really good housewives stories for you today. First, we're going to talk about how one of Tom Girardi's victims is coming forward begging the judge for his money. Then we're going to talk about how Jennifer Aydin lied about having a mortgage. I couldn't make this up if you paid me to. Okay, guys, let's start with this Tom Girardi lawsuit. I mean, every single day I go, can this get any worse? I ask myself every day, can this get any worse? And every day I have to answer my own question. Yes, it can. Today is no exception. I feel like this is getting worse and worse and worse because it has to do with the actual victim. Now, I made a video about this back in 2019 about this guy who was a part of the San Bruno pipe explosion where a underground pipe exploded and literally burned the entire neighborhood. Joseph Ruigomez had 75% of his body burned. His girlfriend actually died in the explosion. And he came out a couple years ago saying that Tom Girardi was not giving him his money. He said that Tom gave him a very small portion of the money, but soon after that, Tom completely stopped talking to him. And he was saying that he needed that money for his surgeries. And at that time, I thought, something's not right about this story. I wonder if he didn't pay more people. And then I'm thinking, Tom Girardi might be a crook. This is before everything came out. So let's take a look at that video that I made back in 2019, and then I'll tell you how this leads up until today's news. Joseph is saying that he has already had over 30 surgeries to try to repair the damage. However, he's not done getting all the surgeries that he needs, and he needs that money to pay for future surgeries. Now, if what Joseph is saying is true, this is a terrible look for Tom. Who takes money from a victim? The guy has had over 90% of his body burned. I mean, that's a true victim. This lawsuit makes Tom look like a heartless crook. There's no other way to put it. Now, as you can see, I thought Tom was a crook back then. And from that day on, my opinion never changed of Tom. Even till this day, I still think he's a crook. Now, I have to say alleged crook to protect my video, but you guys get the gist of how I feel about Tom. And that's what makes today's story even more bad. Since then, since Joseph came out publicly begging and pleading for his money, he has still not received a dime of his money. And he's still in need of surgeries. So him and his parents decided to bring forth another lawsuit for Tom. So he's decided to sue Tom again, asking the bankruptcy court to not discharge his $11 million judgment in Tom's Chapter 7 bankruptcy. But I really do believe you can ask all you want. It's still very hard to get $11 million out of zero. I mean, it's unfair. It is what it is, and Joseph is suffering because of it. I mean, Tom is not suffering because of it. He's off somewhere allegedly with Alzheimer's or dementia, and here Joseph cannot use 100% of his body because of the damage that was done to him by the burns. He knows he, on paper, was supposed to get the money to fix himself, but he can't because his lawyer is a crook. I mean, an alleged crook. We have to call Tom an alleged crook until he's officially given a verdict of guilty. So right now, Tom is an alleged crook, but that doesn't stop his victims, specifically Joseph, from suffering through what he has to go through because he has no money. So it is what it is. We'll see what the judge does, but that puts another lawsuit under Tom's belt. And like I said in the beginning, Joseph has to stand in line because there are a lot of people suing Tom. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's really sad and quite sickening. It really is. Now let's move on to my next story. Now, this next story is about my fave on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's Jennifer Aydin. I love her to death. I don't care if she gets drunk. I don't care if she is a drunk. I don't care if she tells white lies or if she's a bold-faced liar. I still love her. But unfortunately, this next video is about her being a bold-faced liar. Okay, do you guys remember on one of the past episodes, when she was in the kitchen talking to her mom and she told her mom that she didn't have a mortgage because the house was paid off? Do you guys remember that? Now, I don't know if you guys remember that Jackie had went on Andy Cohen's show and a fan asked Jennifer, what did she think of Jackie saying that her house was big like the Taj Mahal, but only with a mortgage? And Jennifer came out and said, I find it very interesting because I don't have a mortgage. I paid for this property cash. We paid for the property cash. We built it halfway. We paid with bank cards, and the rest was a construction loan to finish the build. So I actually don't have a mortgage. Check that, attorney. Do you guys remember she said that? Basically flat out deny that she has a mortgage, okay? But guess what? You can't be on national television and lie, Jennifer, especially when you're in the public eye. Because what's going to happen? Somebody like Page Six is going to go pull the documents and make sure that you don't have a mortgage. And guess what they found? You have a mortgage. They actually found paperwork saying that you have a mortgage. And they're saying that you guys took out a loan in 2014 that you still owe 1.8 million plus interest, which must be paid in full by 2044. Now, Jennifer, you got caught in a bold-faced lie. I mean, this is not a good look. Me personally, this does not change how I feel about Jennifer. I mean, I think it's funny, that she got caught in a lie, being labeled a bold-faced liar now. She's drunk, and now we can add bold-faced liar to the mix. But this is what makes her interesting to me. I love her. Now, I'm probably one in a million. You're going to get people who are going to say, oh, she was bragging all this time. She acts like she has so much money. Remember season 1 when all she talked about was her home? Remember she would take people around and, oh, this is this room and this is that room. And she's just shallow and we can't stand her. You're going to have people that say that. I'm saying to those haters, you guys are being too hard on her, okay? We need someone to spice things up on this show. We need people to get drunk every now and then. We need people to lie about not having a mortgage. Do you get the picture? I think I'm going to excuse all of her bad behavior and all of her lies every time I get, because she's just so entertaining. For me, Teresa Giudice is the top of the show, and Jennifer's right under her. I would even label Jennifer Teresa's protege. And we all know Teresa has a tendency to lie from time to time, but do we care? No. And let's not forget, people, at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. Some of us are born to be liars, okay? It is what it is. Now, at least that's how I feel about it. Now, we got to talk about it today down in the comment section. We actually have a lot to talk about in the comment section. I want to know, what do you guys think about the actual victims not being able to fix their bodies because Tom Girardi won't pay them? Do you think this lawsuit was necessary, or was it unnecessary because at the end of the day, they're not going to see a dime of that money anyway? And then what do you guys think about Jennifer Aiden getting caught in a bold-faced lie? Is she still lovable, or should we throw her to the wolves? Let's have an adult conversation down in the comment section. In the meantime, if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. It does wonders for my video. If you haven't already subscribed and hit the notification bell, don't forget to do that. And if you already hit the notification bell, go back and make sure that it's turned on, because a lot of people are saying they're not getting their notifications. And with that being said, I'll meet you guys down in the comment section. Bye for now.